Why, hello there, I'm Night Fox and I'm going to be teaching you about the viola. This lesson is for beginners and I'm going to start from the very beginning. This lesson assumes that you do not have a viola or you have recently just got your viola. If you do not have your viola yet and you don't even know about anything about purchasing one, I'd recommend heading down to your local music shop. Being fitted for your viola, they'll measure your arm so they know which size viola is right for you so you can reach your fingerboard here properly so you don't go too far or not far enough. And make sure you can play your instrument properly. The store clerk can probably help you pick a viola. If you want me to make a video possibly about that in the future, leave a comment down below, I might consider it. But continuing straight on with this, I'm going to get right into the parts of the viola and assume you already have one and you're wanting to learn. I'm going to go over all the parts of the viola first with you. This is known as the scroll, this is the round part. Your tuning pegs for tuning. Your fingerboard, that's the black board behind the strings. Your strings. The C belt, your bridge. This is a mute. This is actually not a part of your instrument, but something you buy separately for. You won't even need this really in your beginning, but it's just something I have. These are your fine tuners, little metal screws. Some do not have them. If you don't have them, don't panic. This is known as your saddle and tailpiece. This is your chin rest. This is, I believe, a quarter chin rest, and your in button, and of course the back. But I guess I'm gonna move right on to strings. You have, starting from the highest string to the lowest string, you have your A string, D string, G string, and C string. I'm sorry, C string. It's A, D, G, and C. You want to make sure you're in tune first. You can do that by downloading a tuner or getting your teacher to help you if you're in a class, or if you're only on your own and you're not taking any lessons or anything. There are plenty of free applications out there in the Android App Store. There may even be some in the Apple App Store, I'm not sure. You can check around. I've seen several things online, or you can just buy a simple tuner that I'm sure they sell at your music shop. Now the next most important part you will need is your bow. Bows typically do come with your instrument, but they are not always. However, if you need to buy a bow, I recommend wood and horsehair. But if you're on a budget and you're just starting out, fiberglass and synthetic hair works fine. I'm going to go over the parts of the bow with you really quick. The whole thing is called the bow, of course. You have your frog, your screw, your ferrule, the hair, and you have all the parts holding it. It does come apart, so don't be scared. I don't recommend taking this apart for beginners, but don't be scared, it does come apart. The particular bow I have right here was actually made for violin. Violin and viola bows are very similar. There's only one minor difference. There is this pointed edge here. A viola bow has a slight curve. It doesn't change the performance or playability, but if you wanted to know what kind you have, that's how you would know. I'm going to go over bow holding technique is next. With your bow in your hand, you can try this with a pencil if you don't have your bow yet. You'll take your thumb and you'll put it underneath here, your pointer finger here, this here, your ring finger here, and your pinky goes sitting on top at the end. This may feel weird at first. And then you can just try making movements, getting your wrist. It's mostly in the wrist and your elbow. And that'll give you a good motion. And I want to go over a couple more things you may want to have as a beginner. You want to have a shoulder rest. I recommend some with adjustable feet that are rubberized and a cushion. There's some really cheap ones out there. I wouldn't recommend them. Please, if you're a beginner, spring for a more quality one. It makes a world of difference. You may also need, I really wouldn't say may, you actually do need some rosin. This is some dark rosin. This is just cheap rosin they sell at most music stores. And dark is my preference. They do sell light. There is no major difference between dark and light. Dark just grips better and helps you produce a much louder sound. I would honestly probably recommend light to a beginner. And one last thing that is a little optional, but I really would more recommend it, is a cleaning cloth. You want to rub, when you're done playing, you want to wipe your instrument down, and you want to keep the rosin that builds up on your bow and gets on your strings. You want to wipe it clean gently, and you can wipe the oils away from your entire instrument. Where you've touched it, it preserves your instrument. And another optional thing you may want to consider is maybe some instrument polish. And last but not least, make sure you get a case. I highly, highly recommend a case. Do not keep your viola or any violin, cello, it doesn't really matter at this point. Keep them all in a case. They're very expensive. I just hope this essentials video has helped you in some way to get started. In my next video, I will show you how to play your first song. If you're not yet a part of the Skulk, please consider joining, become a part of my Skulk, and see more videos. I hope to see you all in the next video, and until then, stay foxy.